Hey everyone, and welcome to Something Awesome, where today I am joined with someone that is not Mike.
I'm not Mike.
You're not Mike. Who are you?
But I'm in Mike's seat.
But you are Mike's seat.
And it's really comfortable. What's up, you guys? CheesiePlays. I'm a good friend of Rick, and I'm excited to be here today.
Yeah, so me and Cheesy have been following closely the Last of Us TV show, so I figured might as well have Cheesy here in person, and we can chat about it and talk about our experience with the game and with the show, of course, and give her overall review too. I'm just gonna say off the top, we're probably gonna have spoilers.
Yes.
So if you haven't watched the game, or if you haven't played the game, if you haven't watched the series, just know we're gonna spoil it. But here's what we'll do here: we'll spoil the first game.
Yes.
If we do get into the second game, we'll let you know when there's spoilers.
Yeah, we'll hit a timestamp.
And I'll put a timestamp in the description, like I always do, anytime there's spoilers or anything you want to jump around. So yeah.
Because if you have not played the game and you have just been watching the TV show, then you're in for a wild ride in the second season. That's all I'll say. That's the least I'll say. But
yeah, but we'll get more into that.
Yes, later.
In depth. Yeah. This is probably like the best adaptation of a game to TV show that I've ever seen.
To a TV show, definitely. I do want to give credit when credit's due, though. I will say, like, the first Sonic movie, I thought that was fantastic.
I still haven't seen the Sonic movie.
Really? Oh man. Okay. And I'm also a fan of the Tomb Raider movie that released like not too long ago. So like I like both of those as movies, but when it comes down to like something that's been like a TV series that's periodically like every week a new episode, man, The Last of Us has peaked for me, man. Like I love the game enough, and this show is just
it's insane. Yeah.
It's like an ode to it, you know what I mean? Like in every right way, every right aspect of it. I've loved the entire series.
So how did you find the series? Was it through the E3 trailer that you saw it, or
like, you know what? So what had happened was back in 2013 when it released on the PS3. I did not play it on the PS3. I actually did not get into it quite just yet, primarily because I was still like a little Uncharted guy. So I was like doing like Uncharted 2 and 3. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was still like in the previous games that Naughty Dog was developing at the time. I didn't really want to like sink my teeth into a zombie game because there was so many. I was like still in a Dead Island, still in a Dying Light,
right?
That was various other games. Yeah, you know. So as soon as they did a remaster for it, I was like, one day my buddy had came to me. We actually have like the same tattoo together, which happens to be like the Firefly tattoo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so me and my buddy have like the same tattoos, and he was like, dude, you have to play this goddamn game. He's like, I know you like, because I recommended him like The Walking Dead and BioShock Infinite and like other titles, and he usually recommends me games. And he told me, he was like, hey man, like, and shout out to Tony, I love you, bro, thank you for that, because ever since then, like, I've been a full like Joel and Ellie fan since, you know. So he was like, yo, play this game here, and I was like, all right. So I started playing it, and man, like the first like 5-10 minutes of that game, dude, like I just felt hurt. Like I was like, I felt so much emotion, like just based off of like Joel losing his like daughter, you know what I mean? And I was like, dude, like it hit, man. It hit really hard, like just the whole like direction of it, and like this is only like the first like 10 minutes of the game. And I was just like, man, like, so I just full send it after that, and that's how I got into the series though.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I didn't play it until it came out. Like I think it was a remastered on the PS4.
Okay. Yeah.
It came with the bundle, and I bought the bundle, and I played it that way. I don't remember why I played it. I think it's just because it was the Naughty Dog game. I think maybe Mike or Bryce might have told me about it too, and I might have been interested in it too. But I remember buying the bundle of it, playing it all the way through. Just felt like you said, the first 10 minutes of the fucking game, just like, oh, my heart. Yeah. Like, I think I know. I pretty much was like, okay, I gotta take a breath here, because that's when the credit rolls too.
Yeah.
In the game, or like, okay, give me a break, let me breathe, because this was too much. Like, he just lost his fucking daughter in the first 10 minutes, which I was not expecting at all. And I was kind of curious too, because when I watched it, or when I was playing it, I was like, this doesn't look like the person on the cover, like the little girl on the cover. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, okay, well, maybe, they're friends or something.
Yeah.
So like that completely threw me off. Like it's so great when you get surprised like that.
Yes.
Which is also why I like kind of like stop watching multiple trailers of a movie, because then you'll kind of eventually figure it out. So like when anything gets announced at E3, it's like, okay, I'll watch like the one trailer and then I'll play the game. That was my first introduction, so I got to play it like remastered instead of like the other way.
Yeah, no, same.
Which was like you, like, yeah, instead of the other way, which was kind of a benefit too with better graphics.
Yeah.
And now they're remastering it again for the PS5 and for PC.
Remaster of the remastered game from 2000.
Which I'm kind of tempted to buy it
on PC.
On PC.
Oh wow! I bought part 1 for the PS5 because I bought the steelbook and comic book thing for it. Yeah, so I bought like the bundle that they had on like the PlayStation Sony site. So
of course,
yeah. So I
like, if there's anything you need to know about Cheesy, he buys a bundle.
Yes, you tell me there's a collectible item for it, I will get it. Like even what's it called? New recent game, Forspoken. I haven't bought it, but I have a couple buddies at Best Buy, and I was like, "Hey, can you just snag me a steelbook?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." So, sure enough, they were like, "It's $5," and I was like, "All right, there's $5." So when Forspoken physically goes on a like $25, then I'll buy it physical, you know. But yes, buy collectibles, buy them.
I think the only collectible I bought was the Uncharted 4.
With Nathan Drake's statue.
Yeah.
I love that one.
I don't have it out, but
I love it.
I packed it.
That's a fantastic bundle.
Yeah, I love that bundle. I still want the official ring necklace. I still need that. I gotta find that. But the official one.
Yeah.
The official one.
Nothing else, all right?
But yeah, that's kind of how I got introduced to the game, and then playing the game, and then like it being once you pass the game or finish the game. Like, I remember voxing both Mike and Bryce, and I'm like, oh my God, this just broke my fucking heart so much. Like, I was devastated. I think I was like putting me in a state of depression for a long time. Just kind of like how I feel with the TV show too.
Yeah.
So that's our introduction of the game. Let's just go ahead and jump into the TV show then.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to go episode by episode, or did you want to just go around and just pick and choose?
I am down to do episode by episode. I just can't recall a lot of things from like the first couple episodes. You know what I mean? But like I'll try and like remember.
Okay, well,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing too about this show is like that very first episode is a pretty much
like the introduction.
The same. The introduction is pretty much the same as a game. Like minor details.
Yeah, there is something that did change though, which is like I think huge to the like entire series, which makes it different than the game. So rather than like originally in the game, it's an airborne virus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was one of the major differences.
Yeah. So in the show, they decided to make it flour, yeast, and like other products like that. Which, if you catch on to the first episode, Joel avoids, and so does
he's on Atkins.
Yes. So he avoids like eating any kind of bread and stuff like that. So when he's offered the cupcakes from the neighbors, when he's offered the cake from like his daughter.
Or forgets the cake.
Yeah, and then like, or even his lunch.
His daughter going over to the neighbor's house by making oatmeal cookies.
Yes.
Thankfully, kids don't like oatmeal cookies.
Yes.
So they say no.
Yes. So like they completely like they show it by them like not eating that stuff throughout that episode, and then you realize like everybody who does eat that ends up getting infected. Also, the whole like scene with I think like it's the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to break the sliding door. Okay.
True.
And he's supposed to get shot and not whacked across the head with the crossbar, dude. I was like, yo, this is awesome, man. And then his brother Tommy too. Like
dude, that guy who played Tommy, dude, like his voice sounds just like the Tommy on the game.
Man, dude.
Like I heard it. I'm like, what? And then same thing with Pedro Pascal too.
Yeah.
Like he does a really good like
Joel impression.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. And then like I think so far it's been fantastic. I love it. The first episode I had introduced to, so my girlfriend said to watch it. So she loved it, man. Like she caught on to that first episode and she's like, when's the next one? I was like, next Sunday.
Yeah, and she also hasn't played the games from what
she
has
not played the games at all.
Right.
Which is like a big thing I've talked with a lot of people because like I have a few friends that like I work, so they come in and they'll tell me about the episode and stuff. And obviously, majority of the people I've talked to played the game, but like a lot of people haven't. And like that's where I find like the big differences, because like should I like introduce like my girlfriend, for example, into the game, into part 2 maybe, or should I just let her digest the media the way she's like taking it? You know what I mean? Which I think a lot of us have like I mean I personally agree, like the way you consume The Last of Us is the best way you're going to consume The Last of Us.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Like it's an adaptation from the game to TV show. There's 2 different mediums, which if you know the difference, not know the difference, but like the technicality of the game versus television show ones, like there's certain things you can't do, like the airborne virus thing. Like you can't have everyone running around in gas masks throughout the entire show. So I understood like the way they changed it, and it just made sense. So like some of the practical stuff to turn it over to television made a lot of sense, and actually improved a lot too.
Yeah.
And there are many changes within the game or within the TV show that they changed from the game that I didn't really find to like, oh, it should be just like the game, or like like fanboyish about it. Like it just made sense.
Yes, I'm absolutely with you on that. Like a lot of the things they did throughout like the course of the season.
And even with like Neil Druckmann too, like there was this after interviews after the show.
Watch
amazing. And Neil Druckmann talks and Kevin Mazin, who is a fantastic writer, creator, showrunner, who I actually followed because he had a podcast before all this.
Oh, okay.
And he's also a writer in Hollywood, of course. He did Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah.
And other stuff, but like back in like late 2000s, early 2010s, I was listening to his podcast with John August. It was him and John August and Craig Mazin, and they would have a podcast about how to write a script, how to break into Hollywood. And I've listened to like every episode that they've ever put out. And they dissect scripts, they dissect other people's scripts, they bring people on and they talk about the creative process. And hearing these creatives, especially Craig, talk about it, like I knew like there has to be a big project for him someday, and like John August as well too, who wrote movies like Go and Big Fish.
Yeah.
And then Craig ends up getting Chernobyl and now The Last of Us, which I knew when I heard his name and Neil Druckmann, like this is gonna be perfect. Like no doubt about it, this is gonna be a great show.
What's that? To the minute detail.
To the minute detail. Perfect.
Yes, dude. The after show's been actually fantastic too. Like kind of gave a little more like information, especially towards the end of the last 2 episodes, primarily because there's we'll get to that right now, but like I just love it because it goes a little more in depth and explains a few things here and there, also like how they might have like tweaked or changed something that was in the game versus like the show, just to hear that discussion and like the idea behind it.
Yeah. So let's get into that since we're talking about changes. Like, what were some of the changes that you think were great? Or I think we pretty much agree that all the changes worked out, because like I didn't really think any changes.
I didn't complain about a single one. So
at all.
I believe it's episode 3, right? With
Bill and Frank.
Yes.
Yeah, episode 3. Yep.
Man, like it's completely changed, like differently compared to the way the game was. But dude, man, that episode was incredible for me.
It was an incredible episode. It was like an hour and some minutes.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it from the very start to the very end. And it progressively got better and better. And I was like, man, like I think about like if they would have done that in the game, it's kind of hard to portray. Let's
explain that, I guess, for people who haven't played the game.
Oh yeah,
that might be listening. So in the game, like Ellie and Joel run into Bill.
Yes.
And Bill basically owes Joel a favor, I guess. And what happens is like he's kind of like the character that they play in the TV show, but we don't see Frank. Yeah. Well, we do see Frank, but not until like
we don't see him
alive. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It's more tragic.
It's a little more dark tone, actually.
Dark and tragic than the kind of
beautiful way.
end to them in the show, because because in the game they get into an argument, which is kind of what we see in the TV show too. But Frank leaves Bill, runs away, gets himself bitten, and then ends up hanging himself.
Yep.
Eventually, in the game, to find that car and the car battery, they have to go through like this horde that he hasn't hoarded through, I guess, or ransacked through yet, in order to find that. And that's when they find Frank, hanging himself. But Bill is like the same, like in that, pretty much the same in the show as he is in the game.
Yeah.
I felt that way. The only difference was that the story didn't end tragically.
Yeah.
Or darkly.
It wasn't as dark or as bad. It was a little more like we also got to know a little more of Bill. You know what I mean? Although like we already knew him as a character, we got to know a lot more of Bill, which was really nice because in the beginning of the episode you assume he's like a certain way about things, and then sure enough he meets Frank and it becomes like completely different, it changes not only like our perspective from game to show, but it changes perspective from like him as a person, which is great, so
like you see that change come from him, and he gets like his happily ever after, in a way.
Absolutely.
That was a very like nice poetic episode that everyone just loved.
I just wanted to hear him say like, "Give me all your bacon and eggs," so that would have been nice. And I said all your bacon and eggs, but yes, no, man, what a like change of character though.
I wouldn't expect that. Like when I heard Nick Offerman was playing Bill, like I was like that, like threw me through a loop. Like what?
I was, because like you wouldn't see him play that role, but man, executed, like well done. And I mean, to like go off of like other things, Tess, for example, I wouldn't have known the way she handled like the zombie, or not the zombie.
Oh, that was a change too.
Like that was a change. The way like they handled that whole ending scene, because we just see it from Joel's perspective in the first game, which is like them just running out, explosion happens, right?
No, in the game, no. In the game, I think she tries to fight him off because it's Fedra coming.
Oh, that's right. Them. It's Fedra,
and then I think she just takes up arms and starts trying to give him enough time to leave.
You are correct.
And in the game, or in the show, it was they stepped on, or they shot one of the infected, and then it caused through the neural networks for them to come out.
Which is also cooler.
Which is also new, because that's not part of the game either.
At all. Yeah. Which is a really nice touch too. Like I think that completely changed how it was too.
But you got to be careful where you step now.
Yeah. Now like that changed the whole dynamic of like anything that's gone on. Especially as we get into like obviously the later episodes and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I loved it. Go watch it. Like that's what I can say. It's just go put like 10 hours of your day to the side and watch.
It's not a hard binge.
Yeah, it's definitely
it really is not. Yeah. Like and like even that hour-long episode we got with Bill and Frank, it didn't feel like an hour long.
It didn't.
I thought it was literally like maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes.
I was thinking the same thing. Like it felt really short because like
the only one that felt long was the first episode, because that was like actually like an hour and 40. That was almost like a full movie.
That was like a full introduction. Yeah. Like that was like all right, this is it.
Yeah.
But man.
One of another thing that I liked, or I thought was an interesting change, which is something that Neil Druckmann made a comment on in the after show. Sam and Henry?
Yes.
Is it Sam the little kid?
Sam's the little kid. Sign language, right?
Making him deaf and making him sign.
Yes, dude. And not only that, I guess they obviously he was actually like as a person he is deaf. And
they got an actual person.
Yeah. And then like not only that, it got the entire like cast, all the people who were working on the show to understand a little bit. Yeah. Which is like awesome. Like that's cool, man. Like that takes a lot. Like especially like because most people be like, all right, like like can you tell them this, Yeah. But like instead they went out of their way to learn, and man, that Sam and Henry episode was definitely.
I'm trying to remember like what was the sign for survive and endure, or endure and survive.
Yeah. Yes. Like it was awesome to make them like like a completely different like compared to just like some kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like plus also if you think about it too, the all this is going around you, and you can't hear anything that's going on. You know, you have to rely like, and then I'm kind of also paraphrasing what they said on the after show. Like he would have to survive with Henry because he wouldn't be able to
communicate with anybody else really.
communicate and know when something's around him, something like his environment, and
Yeah.
you need to be aware of your environment.
Yeah.
And then one of the things Neil Druckmann said was that was Craig Mason's idea. Like, what if what if we make him deaf? Like, what if he can't hear? And then Neil Druckmann said, like, what was weird? I'm trying to remember exact words. Like, he said something along the lines of like, "I wish I thought about that when I made the game."
Oh man.
Because like he said something like that just made it even better.
Yeah.
That episode 2 like is pretty accurate to what we see. Like they do kind of make the tunnel scene a little bit shorter because like in the game is a little bit longer, obviously. But you do get to see some of the Easter eggs from the game, like the Ishmael scene, and you read their story in the game compared to like we could just get like little cameos or little Easter eggs here. And there. Which they were really good about.
Mm-hmm.
They were really good about that.
I also was gonna say like I really enjoyed how they like. I mean, because obviously in the game you're playing as Joel and Ellie, so the main focus is Joel and Ellie. But in this show, I felt like every episode was done to like a point where like this is respectfully these characters' episodes. You know, like yes, Joel and Ellie are around, but like as soon as we met Sam and Henry, it felt like okay, we're getting Sam and Henry now. Tess, it felt like we were getting Tess. You know. Same thing with Bill and Frank. You know, like it was like dedicated episodes to other characters evolved around Joel and Ellie, which I think is.
Yeah, that was one of the things I really liked too, which I didn't think we would see. Yeah. Like I didn't think we would see in-depth things like that on other characters. And I really enjoyed that. It was like they brought to life some of the artifacts that you find in the game, like the stories and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that was good.
Like the little note pieces.
Yeah. Which you also kind of see in the last episode too with the RV. So I know kind of jumping ahead, but with the RV, like you see like they don't tell you the tragic story of what happened in that RV.
Yeah, that's correct.
but it was a nod to it. And like the same thing with like other parts of the show compared to the game. Like oh man, there's just so many to go over. I think like if I were to have like any kind of criticism, which I really don't. Like I'm like this is nitpicky too, but I wish the episode with David was a little bit longer.
With David,
the ugly piece of shit pedophile guy.
Yes. Oh
yeah. I like.
Yeah,
because there's so much that happens during that in the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did a fantastic job of condensing it into that one episode.
Yes, but that could have been. They could have.
That could have been like a 2-parter episode.
I agree with that. And they drag it into the like end of the first episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it does. I mean, it also has like its.
That's me being fucking nitpicky.
I feel like it also has
a non-thing, really.
Yeah. Man, that's when we get Troy.
Yeah, because that's also when we get Troy too. Troy Baker is in that episode.
Dude, seeing him get murdered was like, I was like,
alien murder Troy.
Yes. Dude, I was like, man, this is awesome. I forgot who else it was. I believe it was the episode prior. We get the guy who voices Tommy, right?
Oh yeah, the Marlene episode.
Yes, where he was one of the Fedra, right?
Yeah, they were like their own like militia type of thing. With, Kathleen.
Like it's cool to catch that, like as somebody.
Oh, I recognize his voice right away. Yeah,
and not only that, like I mean, obviously, like the last, I guess 3 episodes, right, or 4 episodes, I guess. We kind of get a tidbit of every like almost most characters from, or voice actors from the game.
Yeah, we got so we got Troy Baker. We got Ashley Johnson in the last episode.
Man.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes.
Who else do we get? Oh, you said Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy.
And then Laura Bailey had this like secret cameo as the nurse.
Yes.
And I feel like we're forgetting someone else.
I know there is one more person. I just can't like nail it. And it was Tess, right?
No, Marlene.
Yeah.
Marlene. She played Marlene in the game and in this.
Yes.
Which I thought was awesome.
And she knows her character.
She knows her character. She like crushed it.
Yes, she knows her role and her character, man. Like it's just it's an ode, and it's awesome because like, you know, majority of the time, a lot of people who do voice act characters
never get to play them.
Yeah. I mean, you know, thank God for Mark Hamill, but like we've never gotten a real life, you know, Mark Hamill Joker, you know, like as an example.
Would love to see that.
Yes, like his voice, you know, everything about that, like it's awesome to me. Like it's.
I guess you could say the same thing with the Mandalorian, and I'm going a little off topic. Katie Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan.
Oh yes.
Clone Wars and in live action.
That dude, fantastic too.
Which is awesome.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry. I know this is the Last of Us episode. Did you watch the last?
I did.
Okay, all right.
It was so
good. Dude, I loved it. My only gripe was, well, actually, I love like
it does what The Last of Us did with the Bill and Frank story, where you get a totally different story in the Mandalorian.
Yep, and it's dedicated and owed to someone else. Yes. Yeah. But dude, I cannot deny. Sorry, this is Mandalorian talk right now, but the whole flying fight scene.
Oh yeah,
dude, this was like, man, I was like, dude, I hope they had that on Star Tours or something. You know what I mean? That I just go watch Mandalorian this week too while you're at it.
Yeah, it's good.
Since you're watching The Last of Us, watch all of Pedro Pascal.
Right? I mean, you got Pedro both for 2 weeks and twice a week. For 2 weeks.
Yes. And then now we get him for another couple weeks, and then now we gotta wait for The Last of Us 2, or season 2.
Yeah, but going back to The Last of Us.
Yes, The Last of Us.
Yes, we get the actors coming in to, you know, play their role. Marlene, fantastic. But yeah, like, what was your favorite episodes that stood out to you? Like, what would be your favorite episode? I guess
favorite episode is I think that Bill and Frank episode, or the Sam and Henry episode. I really like the change of pace and the change of direction with those characters, and more like what they added for those characters compared to the game, you know. Those were my favorites. Obviously I still to this day, even the game wise, I'm not a fan of how it ends. You know, it is what it is. But like, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know where else to go, man. Like,
it's hard because they're all great episodes.
And then not only that, I love the fact that in the last episode we did get like the crazy killer Joel. You know what I mean? Like the like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to like get this girl kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which he does. Yeah. Which I'm finally happy about, because I mean, as somebody who plays the game, I'm like that the whole game. You know what I mean? Like from beginning to end.
Murderous rampage.
Joel's like a really deep murderer from beginning to end.
He is.
In the game.
And what's funny about that too? Okay, now I guess we're getting towards the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that too is in that episode in Jackson, where Ellie is talking to Tommy's wife.
Yes.
Forgetting her name, but she tells Ellie, like, are you sure, you know, like people portray something that they are not.
Yeah.
Like you like, and then she's like, oh, I know about Joel's past. Like, so you know how much of a killer he really is then, or something along the lines of that. Like you got to be careful who you trust, because it's the ones who you trust the most that are the ones to disappoint you.
Yep.
And that just like hits harder too once you reach to the last episode of the show.
Yeah.
Which I guess we'll go into then. The last episode opens with Ashley Johnson, pregnant.
Yes.
Playing the character of Anne, who is Ellie's mom.
Yes.
Running through the woods, trying to escape, and runs to the farm. Did you recognize that farm?
Yes, I did.
Right?
Immediately. Immediately.
That farm is from the second part 2 of the game.
Yes.
Which, if they bring it back, would just be so good.
Yes, it'll be an ode to everything.
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, so she's running and then running away from one of the runners, and gives birth to Ellie. We get the flashback scene where you see that Marlene has a relationship or friendship with
Ellie's mom.
Ellie's mom.
Yes.
And so we see how hard of a decision it is.
It
for
truly
Marlene
is.
as well. But yeah, we get that flashback. We jump to current, which is where they find the trailer. And he obviously this is after the previous episode, which was the David episode that traumatizing as shit. For Ellie going through all that, like being traumatized, being basically
alone
for which is one of her greatest fears.
Yeah.
And trapped.
Yep.
She ends up, murdering the shit out of this guy. And I was just clapping and going like, you fucking do it, Ellie.
Yes.
Kill this motherfucker.
The blood splatter.
Yeah.
The blood splatter.
Oh my God. It looked exactly like the game.
Yep.
Like it was insane. I think the only difference, I guess we're kind of going back a little bit, the only difference was that like maybe like us gamers who were waiting for that part where Joel comes in and grabs her and holds her. That does not happen.
No, we don't get that security.
We don't get that. So we're just watching this whole thing play out through to her leaving the building on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Joel comes to save her emotionally, not physically. Like it was emotionally.
It's an emotional attachment.
Yeah. And then he utters the words, "I got you, baby girl."
Yes. Which I feel like has not been said since he told.
Yeah. And he hasn't said it since
his daughter.
His daughter.
Yeah.
And the daughter, right?
Which is, that hurts me.
So yeah, then jumping back to the last episode, we see Ellie's kind of quiet and off, kind of like trying to process everything and trying to.
That's happened, yeah.
Like any trauma survivor would. And Joel trying to do his darndest to be that dad and trying to cheer her up and everything. And we get the greatest scene from the game in the TV show with the giraffe.
Yes. Which, by the way, shout out to the whole production team. Because the giraffe was real.
Dude.
And I was debating the whole episode. I was like, it looks kind of CGI-ish. But it's a real giraffe, you guys.
It was a real giraffe.
It was a real giraffe. And
everything around it was fake.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe like that's why it stood out a lot, because there was some like
I know why.
Yeah.
I think I know why, because in the behind the scenes stuff where they show the real giraffe, you see like they put some blue on the giraffe.
Yes.
And I think that was for the blending.
Yeah, for the background and
stuff. For the blending into the background stuff to make it more pop.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't real giraffe, but like I guess they had to do like minor
like,
CGI stuff on it. Sorry, my watch is going off.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, so that's why I think a lot of people thought it was fake.
Yes.
But I thought it was fake. I was looking at it like, God damn, like this is a really good CGI giraffe.
Yeah, I was like, man, there was parts of it that was like, I was like, this giraffe's moving a little too much. Like its eyes and its eyebrows were moving too much, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way. Only to find out it's real, man. And I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like they did that scene justice, and they did it like right. Like that was definitely needed. I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just.
Yeah, that's where we see Joel and Ellie kind of talk and wrap up everything they've been through, because they're pretty much at the end of their ropes right now, or where they need to be.
And they enjoy their
and they just kind of like moment. Enjoy the view.
Enjoy the because like there's a bunch of chaos going around, but like I guess you like it does portray that you do like you don't see the like you gotta
take a step back.
Yeah, like yes, you nailed it right there. Yeah.
Take a step back, enjoy the moment, and they kind of like, and then you see him talk. You see how much he cares about Ellie, and saying, we could just go back.
Yeah,
we could just go back to.
Yeah.
To
he immediately wants to do that too.
What is it, Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
And just not go, and then Ellie says like, no, like I can't make all this be for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's when we can continue moving. We get the stupid puns.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I love the puns.
Yes, so do I.
And that's when pretty much everything looks exactly like the fucking game. Like it ends like just like the game. For the most part.
I don't know if it ended for you that way, but I had a different course for Joel in the hospital.
So we get that scene where Marlene's talking to Joel, saying that, look, like it's in the brain, or he knows it's in the brain.
Yeah.
Like she's not going to survive this, and he tells them, force him out, like get him out of here.
Yeah.
And that's when we get crazy rampaging.
Which, by the way, speaking of the brain, there was a bunch of like real doctors that I guess watched the show too, and they were like literally saying like if she had a cure for it, it would not be in the brain. They were like, Joel is right.
I've seen those. Yes. I've seen those too. Like all you had to do was a biopsy or something like that. A bone marrow biopsy.
Yeah. So it's funny because like, there's actually people that do side with Joel because like this entire time you're thinking like Joel's selfish, but he's not a doctor either. But like obviously he knew what he was doing, But it's just funny to see that reaction from like people who actually do that stuff,
Yeah. I saw a TikTok saying where like you can't tell me that these Firefly doctors are not med students thinking that they can actually find a cure.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's hilarious to me. I loved it.
Kind of talking about that, like, yeah, there was a lot of people saying like, no, like he should have left her there. Yes, he should have go. But if you listen to what Marlene says carefully, she doesn't say anything with strong positivity. Like she keeps saying thinks they can do it. They think they can do this. They think they can do that. There's no probability. There's no like, well, what's the percentage of rate of it's like they don't know shit. So it's like, why risk someone's life if you don't know?
Over like an idea. Right?
Yeah, an idea over something that is going to be for sure.
Yeah.
So I was always on the side of Joel.
Yeah, same.
It's like no, like, and also if there's anything that anyone knows when you watch the first episode is that there is no such thing as a vaccine for a fungal infection.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like there hasn't been made. Like there hasn't been anyone I think that's been taking time to make one. As far as I know, Google it. I guess.
Yeah. Search it up yourself.
But from what like everything I've seen, and if you pay attention to the beginning of the game, like there is no cure for it. Like you can't make a cure for it. I was excited to hear what people's opinions were with this because we already know as gamers.
Yeah.
To see whose side you're on.
Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting when we get into part 2.
Yes. Which.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Which they've also said that part 2 is going to be split into 2 seasons, I think, so far. Or it might be even 3.
I think I heard 3.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Only because, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but, like...
So, wait, shall we just go ahead and jump into the spoiler for 2?
Well, I want to know, because you asked me first, and I want to ask you now. What were your favorite episodes before we full dive into
Oh, yeah, you reminded me of another topic to bring up, too. My favorite episodes, just real quick, Bill and Frank, obviously, but I think the one that stood out to me the most was the Sam and Henry one. That one always, it got me so hard in the game.
Yeah.
Like, and the way they did it too in this, where Ellie cuts herself, it's like, no, my blood is medicine. Like this will help you.
Yeah. And
it didn't, and how bad it hurt her when she had to, you see him and they're buried in the floor, like her writing, "I'm sorry" on the sketch. Mm-hmm. Fuck, man, that was the. I like sad episodes.
And then how she I believe she said she'd stay up with them the whole night.
Yeah, and then him just purposely looking away from her.
Yeah,
because out of sight, out of mind, I guess.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite episode.
Which, by the way, they did add something in the militia episode where they're running away when Sam gets bit. Baby little clickers.
Oh yeah, little kid clickers. Yeah, like that was fucked up.
Bro, that terrified me, dude. I was like, oh my god, this thing's about to like spider crawl across the wall or something like that.
Yeah.
But I love the way it takes out
Marlene.
Love it. Yes, I love the way.
Marlene? Yeah, Marlene.
Yes, I love when it attacks Marlene.
Yeah. Because she was a little kid killer.
Yeah.
And a little kid kills her.
Yes. But that whole idea of a little clicker is like, dude, I could not imagine if I would have had to play the game with that. Like I I think of like, like the two girls down the hallway and what's that movie where he's riding the bike?
Shining.
Yes. I got thinking stuff like that, like little creepy, like devil children, or like even like zombies,
there's something
like,
I gotta say about that with The Walking Dead, but I don't know if I could say it on the air, so I'll tell you afterwards. Remind me.
Yeah.
Just because of like I feel like there's been enough time.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you afterwards.
I got you.
But yeah, seeing the little kid, and then also if you notice too, like Joel kills every adult clicker and never shot at
the child.
Always missed with the child.
Because he even waited for Ellie to like get out of the truck for that, So, but that sniper scene was cool.
That was a great sniper scene. But before we get into part 2,
yes,
reception for casting. Before the show came out, a lot of people were just upset with the casting of
Ellie.
Of Ellie.
Yeah.
Bella Ramsey.
Yes.
I've never seen Bella Ramsey in anything.
Okay, I've seen her in Game of Thrones.
A lot of people have seen her in Game of Thrones. I tried watching it, couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
so it wasn't for me.
I think as a gamer, I was upset, but as somebody who's into like actor or like the who she plays in Game of Thrones, I was like, okay, she's probably gonna nail this. But like when you try to do the 1-to-1 comparison, like facial feature wise, you're not gonna get that. That's not what you're getting.
Bella Ramsey just fucking killed it. Like, because I know a lot of people with the casting, they wanted at least a lot of people I've seen online, like they've had a bunch of different people in mind. And then I think it was a Micro Bryce who thought of, I think her name was Catherine Devener.
Yes,
she was in Booksmart.
Yeah.
But I think she was already like kind of aged out of the role.
Yeah, no
way. Playing a 14-year-old kid,
like Joel's
or
height.
15-year-old kid. Yeah,
Joel's height character.
And then according to I think Neil or Craig, like I think originally wanted to get Maisie Williams too. To play Ellie, but she also aged out of the role. So that's when they went with Bella.
I love it.
But I had no clue as far as like her acting or anything. So like I don't know. I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
as a
to
gamer,
me, like I don't care. Cast whoever you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Let me see the end product because that's what matters.
Yeah, and sure enough, man, like she hit it 1 for 1. You know what I mean? Look at if you gotta compare it, like if you're comparing the way she looks, because that's what the complaint was she doesn't look like Ellie enough. She doesn't look like Ellie enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess a lot of people were like that, which was like, who are you to fucking judge?
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
gamers, let them act. Like, let this happen. And then look, like
the end product was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know? And it was crazy too, because every episode's numbers kept increasing and increasing and increasing. What was it? I think the first episode had like, we went from 3 million to the last episode getting 8.2 million.
Oh shit.
Views, right?
That sounds right. Yeah,
which is crazy because they also had that skipped episode where it came out on a Friday instead of a Sunday because of the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So to not compete with the Super Bowl, it still got 7.3 million views. But when the Oscars came out, it had 8.1. The Oscars, I think, yeah. That lets you know like the level it's reached because not only like from people who've played the game, but you gotta imagine like new people into the show. They're like, you have to watch this. You have to watch this. As us who've played the game since 2013, it's like you have to watch it. Like, but one episode we did forget to mention, which was the Left Behind DLC.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Fuck,
yes.
I forgot to talk about that.
It just hit my mind right now. Man, that was
really good.
That was a good episode. That was fantastic. Her scream when she gets bit and like her like panic.
I'm just like no.
Yes,
like,
dude. Oh man, that made me feel every part of like everything she experienced. Like I was like, dude, this is nailed like correctly.
Because I think like we've all kind of had like that. Not the zombie bite, but like that moment where like no, like we it almost felt like
lost.
You went too far when you knew you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like I think the only moment that I could feel similar to that was when I was skateboarding, and I decided to do. Let me just try one more time.
Yeah.
And then I cut my shin open,
Oh,
and that's when I'm like, no. And
Yeah.
I just get so mad at myself
Yeah.
because like I could have stopped.
Yeah.
I was gonna stop, but I decided one more time.
One more time.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the performance she gave
Yes.
when she got bit. Like,
Yeah.
like I like why?
Like
why?
we were about to leave. Like
Yeah, we were about to leave.
yeah. And then not only that, the girl who plays
Riley.
Riley, it's man, phenomenal.
I
Fantastic.
don't know where they get like the whoever the casting director is. Did
Yeah.
a fantastic job.
Nailed it to a T, man. Also love the nod and the ode to Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh yeah, they played the Mortal
Yes.
Kombat game.
It's fantastic. I love that. Like
Yeah.
that to me.
Because in DLC it's kind of implied, but like it's a different property.
Yeah.
So like I guess like with television you can get away with a
Yeah.
little bit more. So
Yeah.
like they got the right or not the rights, but they got the permission, I guess,
Yeah.
for Mortal Kombat.
Which by the way was funny because like they ended up announcing Mortal Kombat 12 like midway through the season. Over an earnings call, by the way. Like
Oh.
yeah, so Warner Brothers had an earnings call and like listed was Mortal Kombat 12 and everybody was like,
Oh, then I guess they could because like HBO is part of Warner Brothers, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they
own
own
part of
Mortal
WB.
Kombat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they own a part of WB. But that's the difference. That's the thing I find weird though, because it's like properties to TV shows and video games are kind of different, you know?
Hmm.
I
I guess it's a different intellectual property owned by different
yeah.
people.
Like take Spider-Man, for example, right? Spider-Man's not like exclusive to Sony. They just own the movie rights to
Yeah, they
Spider-Man.
just own the movie rights.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, that the Left Behind DLC episode was fantastic. Loved Riley. Loved Tommy, Tess.
All the characters. Were
Yeah,
cool.
everybody in that show, man.
I think the only thing that kind of I wish that they did was like if they brought back Marlene, to play that Marlene character.
Oh.
Like I think with Tess they could have brought back Anna Welsh. I can't say her last name. Welshing or something like that.
Yeah.
Which would have been nice.
Yeah.
Because she passed away.
Yeah.
Not recently.
Rest her soul.
Yeah, and she's a fantastic
Yeah.
actor. Like I loved her in the 24 series.
Yeah.
She did a whole run on the 24. Great, and then she was also in the Runaways Hulu show as one of the moms, which she did fantastic too. Like it would have been nice if they brought her back, but I understand like casting.
Yeah.
It's they can do whatever they want. But the actress who did play, or the actor who did play Tess was fantastic.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. And also age appropriate to Joel as well, because sometimes when you watch TV shows or movies, like the lead actor is 50 and then you have like this 20-year-old,
Yeah, that's true.
with the lead actor, which is like, come on.
Yeah, like what are you
Really?
doing? Yeah.
Like
I agree with that.
so that was nice. Overall, we both love it, obviously.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Can't say it enough. All right.
I think we're there now.
Now we get into
Now
spoilers.
we're getting into spoilers.
Spoilers
for part
start
two.
now, okay?
Speculations and everything
Yeah.
for part 2. We're going to spoil the part 2 video game, so if you haven't played it, definitely don't listen.
Yeah.
And then we're going to give our speculations as far as what they're going to adapt and what they're probably not going to adapt. And then who's going to be cast for who.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to get spoiled, walk away now. I'll put a timestamp where we finish.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, before we get into the spoilers, sorry,
Yeah, you're good.
I just want to say I have to give credit to the scenes, the entire build of stuff.
Oh, the set designer,
set designs,
directions.
yes, all of that, dude. That town that they made,
The crew.
yes, dude, everything fantastic. Them working in the snow, amazing.
Canada,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I think it's the episode with David, where they're panning out and they're showing like the forest, the lush
I
forest.
saw that. Yeah.
On the bottom left of the screen, there's like the
I think they digitally took it out already.
Oh, okay.
Because I watched that episode
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But like if you watch first,
Because I didn't
the
see
first
the,
time,
I don't think I saw it the second time. Because I looked out for it and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, did I miss it?
production team down there on the bottom left. Kind of reminds me of the Starbucks in Game of Thrones episode.
Oh yeah.
But yes, I just want to say that like the set designs,
Absolutely.
they definitely like brought The Last of Us in.
The budget, I think, for the entire series was 100 million.
Yeah, which is I think one of HBO's highest
No,
productions. No,
no, it was something else. Oh no. Well, for HBO, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of
Yeah,
like,
because I think they did all of like Game of Thrones with 100 million, right?
probably. I don't know. I've never watched Game of Thrones or really looked into it,
Oh,
but
okay.
could be. I mean,
I think they did like the first like I think 1 to 8 seasons was worth 100 million. You know what I mean?
perhaps. Yeah, I mean,
So,
also time difference and
yeah,
cost
yeah,
inflation and all
cost,
that.
yeah.
But currently, I think the highest, who has the highest right now, is the Lord of the Rings series.
Oh yeah, that's like maxed out. Every
That's
movie.
like I think
Yeah.
100 million an episode.
Yeah.
then-
On Hulu, right? Or Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon. Yes. I did read that though. That's an episode. This is a full season.
Yeah.
But speaking of full seasons,
All right, now we're getting into it.
we're looking to get 3 whole seasons from the second game,
Yeah.
which I can technically actually fully see that happening.
They did get picked up for a second season. So the other two, I think, are just kind of speculative
Yeah.
because they did say like if we do tackle the second game, according to Craig Mazin, like they would like to tackle it in 3 seasons.
Yes. Which I think time span wise makes complete sense because the second game is huge in the time that it has. Because
It takes place in 3 days,
yes,
but from different perspectives.
from different perspectives.
So technically,
Like,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. I can't
Yeah.
count.
so ideally, I mean, you can technically do like 1 whole season of
day 1.
Abby's point of view and Ellie's point of view, you know, and then you know that second season you just start off with the, you know,
I'm not going to start that way. We are in spoilers, but there's.
I think it'll end that way.
I think it would end that way. Yes.
Yeah.
Or I think rather than ending it there because people will expect it, do it at the beginning of season 3
Yes, that would work too. And ideally, because
they want people
yeah.
who've never played the game won't.
that's
expect
true.
It.
That's true.
They're like,
Just to like,
"What?"
yeah, because you would, dude, you end season 2 with them getting captured.
Or escaping,
Yeah.
and then leave with the tension in the room.
Yes.
And that's where season 2 ends. I don't know.
Yes. Oh my god. Yo, Druckmann.
Because then you can also like have like the first 4 episodes be character story driven introductions, kind of like the Bill
That's
and
true.
Frank episodes.
Yeah.
You could also have the flashbacks because Bella Ramsey's gonna be age appropriate still to
That's
play.
true. Yeah.
Able to do the flashbacks like the museum and all the other.
Oh, that's true.
So like that could be like that could be like an episode 1 or 2 or whatever.
But flashbacks also happen after the whole Joel thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
true.
So I think you can ideally film right now Joel and Ellie like during those flashback scenes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And then you can shove that into season 2. Like you can ideally shove an episode of a
I see what you're
flashback.
saying,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I would really hope we get the astronaut helmet scene, you know, the T-Rex scene, all that stuff.
I'm on a motherfucking dinosaur.
Yes. And then I'd also imagine that they'd have to explain the entire direction of Abby's introduction and why, you know, because, you know, which the end of the first game ends with, you know, obviously Joel killing Abby's dad, which you find out later in the second game, which, by the way, we already
We're
warned
already
you guys.
spoiler territory.
Yeah, we haven't said the biggest thing yet, but we're like kind of like nodding to that.
So yeah, the second game we get introduced to a character named Abby, who we don't really know anything about in the game. We play as this new character. We go through it, and then Abby ends up running into Joel while escaping some clickers and runners, and they kind of get their introduction that way.
Yeah.
What they could see, that's one of the things that I didn't. I mean, I'm kind of over it now.
Yeah.
But I didn't like about the game was how they brought Abby in.
I agree.
I thought they could have brought Abby because, like, I didn't feel connected to Abby in any way.
I didn't either.
So, like, a lot of people didn't.
But
so I think if we build that connection to Abby,
immediately
make people like her,
yeah,
and then have the incident happen, I think that will be a great way for people not to be as angry. And actually, probably, in my opinion, and when that happens, if they don't make a Abby character liked, people are going to drop off.
Yeah.
People are going to turn that TV
yeah.
show show off and not come back.
Yeah.
Just like many gamers broke their games.
Yeah. Have you replayed part 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first time playing part 2, I felt no emotional connection to her.
That's the same.
However, I will say the second time I played, I did feel it. I felt extremely bad. Yeah. So I think there is a certain like degree, because like us, we're so like dwelled into like Joelle that when this incident happens, we're butthurt. Like we're obviously hurt by it. So her character isn't like proceeded as like what we want it to be until I replayed it for the second time. Then I was like, okay.
And I think the reason why is because we finally got to spend time with this character and understand where the character's coming from.
Yep.
Where when you play it for the first time and have no connection,
that fucking incident
like,
just hurts, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like, why?
Which I can see too.
Yeah.
Like, I can see the different perspectives. Gamers, other people might not see it.
Yeah.
You know, which is their narrow view of seeing it. Sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah.
But like, I guess more rational people, if you think about it, like see both sides of the story.
Yeah.
You got Ellie's character who wants vengeance.
Yeah.
You know, Abby's character who also wants justice.
Yes.
And it's kind of like Civil War.
Yeah.
And I'm talking Marvel Civil War.
Yeah.
You know, who's right, Captain America or Tony Stark?
And it's like,
it's like neither of them are right if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you want justice, but like, is it really gonna, you know,
is it gonna fulfill?
Yeah,
what you're missing, like, and that's like that's what we've seen in plenty of movies over the course of the past couple of years. You know, like, take Star Wars for example. You know, like, revenge doesn't do justice, and justice doesn't do revenge, kind of thing. You know?
That's called Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
They changed the title to, instead of Revenge of the Jedi, to Return of the Jedi.
Yep. I was also thinking now that you've mentioned that they might go 3 seasons, I guess because we'd be on season 2, season 3. I guess season 4 can technically be all of California.
Yeah.
And the West Coast. You know what I mean? Because that is a pretty long and big part.
Yeah, that end California, I think it was Santa Rosa.
Yeah. Or Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Barbara stuff at the end, like it could be, I guess, be its own season. I don't think it needs to be its own season. I think it could be like a 2-parter episode.
Season. Yeah. No, I mean, I think it could be like a half season.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, ideally you have the travel to there. You know?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Which also they changed like some of the direction in the first game. Or the first season, because you remember they traveled through whatchamacallit instead of Michigan, right? No. Kansas City instead of Pittsburgh, right?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, so like they can do stuff like that.
That is true. So it might not even be Santa Barbara. It could be something else.
You know? I think it'll end in Santa Barbara. I just think maybe they'll show like maybe a nod to San Francisco or something. You know, like maybe across as they're coming down from Seattle.
Yeah, that could be.
You know? But man, like I'm excited for the whole village stuff, the new like thing that Abby gets into, the child. I forgot the character.
Lev?
Yes. Yeah. Dude, there's so much that's gonna come from season 2, and I don't even know where like to begin.
Yeah, season 2.
Season 2 is a freaking roller coaster, man.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna handle it. But they definitely got a lot of work cut out for them, because that like part 2 game is so packed, with emotion, and it's basically a Greek tragedy.
Yeah,
that's what part 2 is. It's a Greek tragedy, and we get to see it all unfold, and it's gonna be hard to tackle, but. I trust them. I think I heard somewhere that Neil Druckmann is gonna be a part of it, but not as a part of it as it was for this first season.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, because he's supposed to be working on the third game.
apparently he said he was busy working on something else.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, so
we
who
don't
knows,
know what
man?
he's working
Who
on.
knows? I mean,
Part 3.
not only that, this might come in as a loop to you, but we also get Factions 2, which is the multiplayer side of games, right? Which they said they're taking it in a different direction. And who knows, man? They might introduce us to characters in Factions. You know what I mean? Which can also be in a couple seasons. I don't know.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So like, I mean, they're taking Factions. It's gonna be still like all multiplayer based, but obviously you have to connect the characters to like maybe like somebody who like runs obviously groups, you know? Because in the first Factions you technically you literally just get supplies to survive your own camp, which is people on your friends list, which I think is funny. Like, I think my buddy tweeted at me almost every single day when the original Factions was there, and he was like, "Hey, you died again." I was like, "Thanks, man." But who knows? Because man, I don't know where to begin on season 2. Like, where does it go?
Start?
Yeah, like, and then to the end.
I think what they did say. Sorry,
yeah,
I think what they did say though. This was an interview I saw with Craig Mazin. He did say that they are going to change things about about the second game. So it's kind of I think he said something like half of the game, half of the show might be different than half of the game. So,
which who knows? Do they fulfill the incident or
oh, that's gonna happen.
You know, I think it has to, right? Because
and the incident, spoiler alert, is Joel dies.
Yeah, Joel gets whacked with a fucking golf club to the dome, dude, and not once, not even twice,
multiple times by Abby.
This new character that should be introduced into season 2.
Because Joel killed the doctor who was Abby's dad.
Yeah, so
the first season.
Yeah, so the doctor that was working on Ellie's head ended up being this new character that you guys will probably see in season 2, dad, which she didn't like that.
Imagine if season 2 is like all Abby.
That would be interesting.
With sprinkles of Joel and Ellie.
Oh yes, Joel and Ellie, and like the after of them. Oh, that would be good too.
Because then, if you think about it, like that's gonna have people connect with Abby
a lot more. Yeah.
Than what we did with the game.
Yeah, because she's in this whole fucking military thing.
Yeah, the wolves, I believe. Yeah. So, I don't know. There's so many ways they can go with this.
That's true. Yeah, because then, oh man, dude, like, yeah, the whole first season could be Abby, and then the second season could be Seattle.
That could be too. Yeah.
And then the start of, no.
I mean 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
I don't know. It could be something like that, or maybe we spend three episodes,
or unless
with Abby.
Yeah, that's true.
That could happen too. Because like they kind of did that with season 1. Like when we did Bill and Frank, like we saw Joel and Ellie for a little bit, and then it transitioned into the Bill and Frank story for 3 hours. They could do something like that too, which I kind of hope they do.
Well, it's the same thing with
and Sam and Henry.
The thing I will say is like they've already showed that they don't need Joel, technically.
Yeah.
Which, in the episode where he's pretty much just laying in the bed, you see him at the beginning because she's like, hey, look, I'm going to go do this, that, and the other, and you're going to stay here. So she leaves the entire episode, right? And then she comes back at the end of the episode and we see Joel again. But from beginning to end,
he was nowhere to be seen.
You know?
Well, until he killed that, until he finally got up and killed that guy.
Yeah.
But that was towards the end of the episode already. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's true. Like they could.
I'm saying they've already shown that they.
They've already shown they can do that.
Which, by the way, Pedro Pascal nails it, man.
Like, Pedro Pascal is a fucking badass.
And then I think about it because obviously, if you're gonna bring him back, right? Because you have to. He can play in season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a memory.
Yeah.
You know, you can always have scenes like that.
Flashbacks. That's what they're good for too. Like you still get a paycheck.
And we also got to see Dina.
Oh, that's right. We didn't bring that up.
Yeah, we got to see Dina. Yeah, Dina in episode.
And Shimmer.
Yeah.
The horse.
Yeah. Shimmer the horse. And
Rest
yeah.
in peace.
Dina's there as she's talking to Tommy's wife and eating. And she's like, you know, what the fuck is she looking at? With so much grace and attitude. And Dina's just standing behind the pillar, which is...
We got a lot for the next season, and I can't wait till they start. I'm just looking forward to that. That says production starting
yes
now on Last of Us 2. Like, I can't wait. I fucking can't wait. Because HBO takes forever to make their shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, yay, because they're taking their time and they're making it right.
Yes.
But god damn it, it's
take
like
your times are good.
But at the same time, it's like I want it now.
Yes, like I want to see the execution for it, to be honest. Like, and that's what I'm primarily waiting on is how they handle season 2 and stuff like that.
Because we already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. As gamers, you guys know. As TV watchers, if you guys are still listening to these spoilers, I don't know what else.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I feel bad for you because we just
spoiled it really bad.
It all. So,
should we end spoilers in, or do you got anything other spoilers you wanted to bring up? Casting for season 2?
Ooh, I don't even know. I can't even think of where to begin. Do we get Glenn from The Walking Dead? As what's his name?
That would be great.
Yeah,
Glenn.
Because he's young, right?
Oh, he's not that young anymore.
Oh, he looks young though. Because I mean, I've seen Nope. I loved him in Nope. I thought he looked young, you know.
I don't know if he could play a like 20-year-old.
I think
because I think he was about he was about 20 in the game. The character.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they're really young. Damn.
Yeah, because Ellie's I think 19.
Yeah.
Maybe Dina the 2, and then the guy is probably like in his 20s.
Oh, dude, the guitar scene, bro.
I think that's one of the scenes I'm looking forward to for that one. It's the guitar scene. They go into the guitar shop and then she starts playing.
Will they let us
Take
choose
on Me
a song? No, I'm just playing. Man.
And I won't be able to play that Pearl Jam song.
Yeah, they won't. I mean, who knows? I don't know. HBO's got a lot of money.
Well, no, because remember that song came out 2013, and the show starts from 2003.
Oh, that's right.
And I jumped to 2023, so like everything from 2003 to 2023 is just gone.
Oh, that's true.
Taylor Swift, there's a lot of Swifties mentioned.
Oh yeah.
No
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. Oh
so,
man.
I figured it's probably gonna be like an 80s song of some kind.
Yeah, probably. Maybe
or
what's that one thing that what's that one song that I think it's every like guitar place has that you can't play that song in a guitar place.
Oh, Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. That would be funny because they would have no idea about it, you know.
I don't think it'd be that.
Oh, that'd be funny though. Like,
yeah.
You know, you're not supposed to.
Or maybe it could still be the same song and it's a song that Joel wrote.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, wrote. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they play it.
Yeah.
But
I guess that's the end of spoilers now.
End of spoilers?
End of spoilers.
Because we can't really talk casting because we don't really know.
I mean, I wouldn't know where to begin on casting. Like, who do you?
There's a guy I'm seeing right now. I can't remember where I saw him.
Like, who do you get as Abby?
Well, for Abby, a lot of people were talking about. I mean, I could look it up.
Also, do we get that Abby scene towards the end of the game? You know,
Abby, Last of Us. Because there was a character, or there was an actor who people were saying, "Oh, this person should play Abby." I'm not finding it here. Yeah, I can't think of the people name. Maybe I'll put it here in editing.
Right here.
Maybe not. I don't know. So
who knows?
Feel like editing.
Yeah.
But if not, put your casting in the comments.
Let us know if you've played the game. Only if you've played the game. Yeah, because there's no way you would know about the second season. Let me know who you guys want to know for like a cast. Like, fill in every role. Write it down here.
Yeah, because
you know
there's definitely a lot going on casting right now.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, any other website that
everything.
Yeah. Feel free to like tweet at Rick and I'll be sure to read it. You know what I mean? Just leave it on the YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube. We would like to know who you want to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love hearing casting. Like casting is like my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the movie guy, so like I love talking about casting and
Yeah.
things like that. So definitely let us know.
Do you have anybody in mind?
Not really.
Not off the top of your
Not
head.
off the top of my head. I wish I thought about it a little bit more before we recorded.
Yeah. I didn't think
I didn't think we would get into
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's gonna cover it.
Yeah.
Spoilers?
One question. Yeah, spoilers are done.
Okay, spoilers are done.
Spoilers are done.
Tagged here.
Yeah. Joel dies. But yeah, I mean, dude, a fantastic show.
Yeah.
It makes me think now everything else that's greenlit. From God of War to Horizon.
Oh, really?
God of War is on God of War. Yeah, what's his name? Corey Barlog tweeted and he's like, he had tweeted, I think it was on the last episode of The Last of Us, and he's like, God damn it, Neil. He's like, you're gonna make it hard for me to make a God of War TV series. And then you have, I mean, Horizon got approved. There's
I don't know about Horizon.
Yeah, so the Horizon's gonna be on Hulu. I think God of War will be on Amazon. I believe there's a Ghost of Tsushima movie in the works. We get the Gran Turismo movie at the end of this year. There's one more series. Oh, we get the Twisted Metal series.
No shit.
Yeah. Anthony Mackie is casted in that. Yeah.
Fucking love Anthony Mackie.
And I'm assuming he's playing that one dude with like the giant wheels on the left and right side.
Axel,
yeah,
I think
Axel.
is his name.
So, I mean, so far there's been a couple of series that have been confirmed for like production and TV and series and stuff like that. We haven't gotten like full casting calls, but they've been early production because they've pretty much been like, it's been pretty much like that. All right, we could do this.
The only other thing that I know of as far as video game goes is I know Borderlands has been in production for a long fucking time.
Ever, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the world of Borderlands, it's kind of like,
I feel like that's a big one to tackle too.
Yeah, because you ideally have like Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3. You have like Tiny Tina's World. You have the Telltales from the Borderlands. You also have the Handsome Jack, the prequel to the sequel prequel. Yeah, so Borderlands I can imagine would be like they have to get their whole casting and everything into like a world of stuff. But outside of that, if there was this, I want to ask you if there was a game that's not greenlit so far that you would want to see in an adaptation taken into a TV series by, let's just say, HBO. What would you like to see, man? Can't use Uncharted.
Oh, I know. They already made a movie.
Yeah, we already got Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, which wasn't too bad.
I
enjoyed
enjoyed it. You know what's funny is
I think it was great.
I went with people who've never played the game and they loved it. So, you know.
I don't know, man. I mean, Last of Us comes to mind. Yeah. Like, one of my favorite games too is Beyond Two Souls as well.
Oh,
yeah, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
Beyond Two Souls definitely.
I think Willem Dafoe would be on board, but I don't think the other half of that game would be on board. So,
well, I mean, they could recast everyone.
Yeah, that's true, and especially because I mean, at the time he was Ellie Page. No, he's Elliot Page. So
yeah,
we can always recast stuff. Yeah, I agree. But
again, not all voice actors also play. Well, I guess they're both an actor and a voice actor. So like,
I was like, they're full face scanned.
Yeah. But yeah, Beyond Two Souls is a lot. Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain would be good. So
a lot of the Quantic Dreams that are basically movies.
Yeah. Well, think about. I mean, imagine if they made a Control show.
Yeah, that's basically what the games are, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Detroit Become Human.
What was the one that was? I think Detroit Become Human would be interesting. But then I also feel like we have like I Am Legend or whatever. That's kind of similar.
And I think there's this show on Amazon too that's I think kind of like Detroit Become Human called what is it called? I think it's a Philip K. Dick book that's kind of similar to like Beyond.
Oh, okay.
Or Detroit Become Human.
So like the whole like robots take over.
I forgot what it was called. Like Electric Dreams, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Yeah. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass right now.
I got you.
So. But I know it is. I know it is a show.
Yeah.
I know it's a book.
I think Detroit Become Human.
But I like the Detroit Become Human would be. Yeah, and the guy who plays Marcus is also an actor too. He was.
Oh,
in,
really? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's
he was in Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, and he's also in Skins, right? Or no, not Skins. Sorry.
No,
How? No, Grey's Anatomy.
I think so.
He's a doctor.
Is he?
I don't know if it's in. Oh man.
He was in something recently too.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that actor.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also a BioShock movie in development too.
Oh yeah, I think Mike and I talked about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
With BioShock, a TV show.
Yeah.
I think it's a TV show on Netflix.
On Netflix, yeah. Which I'm curious if they're going straight into BioShock.
BioShock. That's what I want. I want it.
But it's already greenlit. We're already getting that. Like, what else? What else would there be?
Then yeah, I would say Detroit.
Detroit,
because there's a lot of good ethical questions in Detroit.
That's true.
Especially with some of the ethical decisions and things you got to make,
and your choices, and the fact that it's like 3 different positions for 3 different
different characters.
Yeah,
with tons of olive branches for each character that can go in different ways. God, I want to play that game again now.
That'd be good, man.
I might will. I might. I don't know. I've been sucked into Metal Gear lately, which is so fucking weird, dude.
It's good, right?
It's okay. Like I think some of this, it's just Metal Gear. Just there's so much to it now. Story and like right now I'm like having trouble keeping up because I can't remember some of the stuff from the past games.
Well, I don't think it does. It doesn't help that Hideo Kojima was like
he left halfway through, right? Remember what I remember?
No, well, 4 Patriots was the last one he worked on.
But it's all him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 5 he did nothing with 5.
No, he did I think some of it and then he left like halfway through.
Halfway through.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's when the whole thing started happening.
Yeah.
But I think in 5, like, I mean, you have to imagine, like, if you really look at Metal Gear's story, it's all over the place.
It is
like,
all over the place.
There's like no like singular line.
The first 4 games are great.
Yeah,
it could have ended there.
Ooh, a Metal Gear Solid movie.
That's supposedly in the works.
Yeah, what's his name?
But Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Oh man, damn!
Yeah.
I guess we do have a lot of games in the stuff coming.
Yeah, but that's been in talk for like 5 years now.
Yeah, that's true. I remember the picture of Oscar Isaac, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully if they get that out soon, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But we plan to do a Metal Gear episode.
Oh,
so
sweet.
But I think that covers everything, right?
Yeah.
Unless you got anything else to add?
Watch The Last of Us.
Go watch The Last of Us.
Watch The Last of Us.
So all right, where can people find you, Mr. CheesiePlays?
On Twitter, man. Just tweet at me. I'll just leave Twitter only.
Okay.
I tweet a lot. I tweet every day. Yeah.
That's Twitch, everywhere your CheesiePlays.
Yeah. Yeah. So my handle is the same thing on every like platform.
You'll see it down below in the lower third. I
think outside of YouTube, but like even if you do YouTube, I'll pop up. Yeah, because I have a weird long story about that. That's for another time.
So anyways, thank you again for watching. If you are watching, we are on every platform, as we mentioned before, Spotify, Apple. Go ahead and give us a rating on any of those platforms. We love that. Also, leave any comments down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for episodes, we're definitely more than welcome into new episodes. And then subscribe if you want to.
Smack it.
If you want, I don't care.
No, do it.
Or just come back whenever you feel like it and come watch us.
No, click the subscribe button now.
And then, yeah. So until next time, thank you, Cheesy.
Thank you for having me, man. It was an honor and a privilege. And I'm glad we got to talk about The Last of Us.
Hell yeah.
I hope to be back soon.
You will be.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.
Peace.